Hello and welcome to Cadence Design Systems Fidelity Tutorial Tuesday, where we show you how to use a feature or demonstrate the technique in just a few minutes. Today, we're going to look at how to utilize the entity adjacency information to easily and efficiently select a subset of entities for your project. The adjacent selection can be used for any entity type, whether connectors, domains, or blocks, or even database entities such as models, quills, as well as shells. The way this feature works is that you can use the angle limit up in the toolbar to set a turning angle that can be used for determining whether the entity can be deemed as adjacent or not. By default, this angle is set to 180 degrees, meaning that, for example, in the case of domains, any neighboring domain that shares an edge with the currently selected domain would be picked up, since the angle between these domains would be 180 degrees or less. However, you can see how we can limit the selection subset by changing this angle limit. So let me show you an example. Here I have a collection of domains, some planar, some perpendicular, and some placed at an angle against the other domains. If I now select, let's say, this yellow domain on the top and choose Select Adjacent, or use the shortcut key, which is Ctrl-Shift-N, you can see that all the domains that share an edge with that domain are getting selected. Let me hit Ctrl-D to unselect everything. This time I'm going to change the angle limit to 45 degrees. Then I'm going to select the same domain and hit Ctrl-Shift-N for Select Adjacent. Okay, so you can see that this time only these neighboring domains, which are basically coplanar with the original domain, are selected, and that is how the angle limit would work. Now, what about the Select All Adjacent option? Well, you saw how Select Adjacent picks up all the entities that are direct neighbors of the selected entity, right? If I choose Select All Adjacent, then all the direct neighbors of the original entity will be selected, but in addition to those, Pointwise will also select the direct neighbors of those neighboring entities, or essentially neighbors of neighbors. And in all of these cases, it is the angle limit which will determine whether the neighboring entity should be picked up or not. So for that same example, this now includes this fourth domain on the top, which was not directly the adjacent domain, but it is selected as part of the Select All Adjacent operation and within our specified angle limit. One more thing that I want to point out is about the type of entities that will be picked up. If you select a connector and use Select Adjacent, then only connectors that meet the selection criterion would be picked up. If I select a connector and a domain, then Select Adjacent will pick up both connectors and domains, and so on and so forth. Finally, let's say you're working on the E-Save geometry from our tutorial workbook. Here I have modified the quills on the lower side of the fuselage, and you can see I have a bunch of these quills. Let's say I want to select all of those quills, and the exclusive selection might not help if I'm looking at a slightly more complex arrangement. Here, I can set my angle limit to a small value, say 10 degrees, and I'm going to select one of the quills on the belly side. Now, if I do Select Adjacent, or using the shortcut Ctrl-Shift-N, you can see that I was able to very quickly select the adjacent quills. But what if I wanted to select all the quills on the bottom? Then I'm going to select one of these quills and do Select All Adjacent or Ctrl-Shift-A, and voila, I have all of those quills selected. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, be sure to click the thumbs up button to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, please drop us a line down below or connect with us on LinkedIn, which is linked in the description. Thank you all and have a pleasant Tuesday.